Okay, guys, I'm doing another video offline on vacation. Breaking news, guys. Pearl just got demonetized. I don't know any of the information. We're going to go through this video to figure it out. But just on, first understanding, I don't think I like that. I know it's silly. I could be completely wrong. But I think that I understood why Fresh and Fit got demonetized, right? They pushed the line way too far. They were allowing people to come on and say incredibly racist things about Abin and Preach. I think that by itself is worth a demonetization. When it comes to Pearl, I don't know if she's hit the threshold of beliefs that I would consider that need to be had before they hit the demonetization. I'm not like melting down about it, like, no, YouTube that, But I do think that, we should be able to have different opinions, even if your opinions are really bad and wrong. Though you could argue that they're not even her opinions because she's probably just doing it to content farm or not content farm, but to, grift for as much money as possible. I doubt she believes things that she says. I'm pretty sure she's just saying incredibly wild and divisive stuff for as much attention, as much money as possible. So yeah, let's see though. Maybe there's some context that we need to be had. Let's watch this video from
16-year-old
Michelle McDaniel.
chicks are hotter than 26-year-old chicks.
Ah!
Whoa there, little lady. Looks like you went from JustPearlyThings to Just.
Can I just be honest with you?
Whoa there, little lady. Looks like you went from Just.
Why choose this as your YouTube thing? Because that is her thing. That's her channel thing. I feel like that's just not. Why would you choose that picture, girl? You know what I'm saying, dude? I'm not trying to be rude, but I wouldn't have chose that. I'd choose this one. That's what I would choose. Oh, somebody's at the door. Hold on a second. Sorry, my mother-in-law. Sorry. Knock at the door. Let's continue.
Pearly things to Just creepy thing. Come on, you know where you gotta go. No, that's too easy, you low-grade piece of trash. You know where you belong.
Oh.
Hey guys.
I feel like I'd rather be in a garbage can than in jail. I can just get out of the garbage can.
Welcome back to the drama where I tell you about some kooky, weird, and gross people on the internet, and today we are talking about Pearl. No, you got that a little bit wrong. Not the annoying, loud, largemouth whale whose father is the very popular crab under the sea. We're actually talking about the annoying, largemouth woman who wears pearls out of the sea.
Jesus, okay.
JustPearlyThings is one of the
Well, I mean, she does say disparaging things about other women, so she is open game to say stuff like that too.
most hated red pillars on the internet who believes women shouldn't vote, they belong in the kitchen.
Yeah, I don't think that she actually believes women should vote. I think that is something that she knows gives her attention when she says it. And so that's the only reason why she says it. That's it. That's it. That's why I think that she does it, because she just wants as much attention as possible. If women shouldn't vote or speak or hold power or whatever, why does she have her own channel? She should just be platforming other men and not be making her own content. So I don't think that she actually believes that.
And how men should only talk and women should just shut the hell up. Which many people are asking,
what?
why the hell does she have a whole ass channel if that's what she believes in? And why isn't she in the kitchen herself? Well, don't worry, you guys. She's going to
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know how to cook. I think that's one of the most funny parts about it.
wife school.
What up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of Wife School!
All right. Calm down, Pearl. Her mentor quit. Hopefully she will find someone
Damn.
to teach her how to be an appropriate wife. Maybe you should try to find a mentor that will help you turn into an appropriate girlfriend first, since you haven't
probably
gone to that step. Anywho, Pearl is part of the red pill community that believes women are better seen and not heard.
Now, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy.
Pearl, shh. No.
Interesting. I'm pretty sure that was just for attention. That's her entire thing. And frankly, that's probably a charitable take, because if you just take her at her face value, she's an anti-Semitic idiot that hates women. So,
But Pearl's biggest pet peeve is modern women and non-virgins, which she is not a virgin.
Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poor.
Sanctity of marriage also relies.
I mean, yeah, it would be a good thing for the sanctity of marriage to be maintained, I guess, for sure. But the reason that it's not is because that can be a very abusive dynamic where you put one person who historically was the man that gets the majority of the power and control in that situation, and that can get to their head and then they could be abusive, right? That's a thing. So That's why you don't want to force that marriage, regardless of which other side is being abused. I mean, imagine if men were being abused at equal rates that women were in relationships. Women, maybe Pearl would have a much more positive take on divorce, and maybe men in general would be having a more positive take on divorce. But the men are generally the ones being abusive. I'm not saying women aren't abusive or can't be abusive, or that women don't suck, because they do. But just saying.
The woman being a virgin, so you wouldn't be able to get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin.
You're a dirty little slut.
In fact, if you're not a virgin woman, according to Pearl, you are the reason for every misfortunate thing and problem that has happened in the whole world. Non-virgin
Based?
women cause all the world's problems.
What?
All of them, Pearl? COVID, world hunger. The guy that eats women because they wouldn't sleep
Yeah, see, if women weren't sleeping around, maybe COVID wouldn't have been a problem. Am I right?
with him. That was the non-virgin's fault.
Non-virgin women cause all of the world's problems.
Well, now Pearl is once again blaming women for a problem that she is facing because she has fallen into the group of many of her red pill counterparts. Yes, people, that bright-eyed, big-mouth, bright-teeth, pearl-wearing girl has been demonetized by Papa YouTube. At Team YouTube, I was just demonetized on YouTube with no strikes, 0 warnings, and 0 explanation. What is going on? Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, I would be like, what the hell? You'd think they'd at least reach out to her and tell her why. That is something that they should do.
YouTube would respond, hey, we're looking into this right now for you, and we'll circle back once we have more info to share.
Okay.
Well, they got more info, and she's still demonetized. Look at it this way, Pearl. YouTube is owned by Google,
Well, what's the info?
and Google is owned by 3 men. So it's kind of like 3 men telling you, a woman, to shut the hell up.
Oh, got him. Well, obviously, the reason is advertiser revenue. Somebody has decided to review. It seems like they're going to do this again against red pillars in general. But it's probably a brand risk issue. You know, there might have even been companies that reached out and said, like, listen, I came across this insane woman on Piers Morgan. I wouldn't doubt this happened. I came across this woman on Piers Morgan just saying some really vile, nasty shit. And so I went and I checked out her YouTube. And she says really vile, nasty shit about women. We as a company don't like those values because, like, people are still people. Like, you know, people still look at YouTube. Executives at companies still look at these things. You know, it takes like a kid. Yeah, my 14-year-old boy was like watching this girl named Pearl Davis or JustPearlyThings, and then I Googled her and I saw her on Piers Morgan, so I watched it, and she's like insane. So I went to her channel, and all it says is like a bunch of really shitty things about women. And like, are you monetizing this YouTube? This is something that's one of the things what happens when you get viral like that. You can never know. Something like that could obviously happen. I'm not saying that's absolutely what it is, but we're all people regardless, you know? So that might have been what it was. And they might have been like, please, we don't want her monetized. We don't want our ads on her. And if enough people say that, all of a sudden they might be like, you know what, let's demonetize these videos.
Call up, and they're taking away your platform, so it will motivate you to get your ass back into the kitchen and work on kneading bread and improving your skills as a wife for your future lucky husband.
Right.
You know, I still think that it would have been worth them, and maybe they did this, we'll learn this later, saying, listen, Pearl, if you continue to say this, or this, you're going to be demonetized. You know, like they demonetized Matt Walsh because he was saying some incredibly insane shit, and they think that they recently gave his monetization back. You know, if they're going to provide a pathway for Matt Walsh to get it back, they should provide that pathway for Pearl. Matt Walsh is quite an intensely incredibly transphobic content creator. It's not just because he doesn't like trans people, right? Ben Shapiro's transphobic too, but I think that the way that he talks about that topic is respectful enough to warrant, you know, monetization. Where it comes to Matt, I could see why they removed it. It's not just the fact that he doesn't agree with trans people, it's the way that he talks about it, it's the way that he riles up his audience. It's the way that he effectively like wages a war against trans people, right? So, you know, but if she has a pathway to get back to it, I think Pearl should be able to as well, obviously.
Now rub it in with just your fingertips.
Well,
With your hands
the
on
content we
water.
needed.
Rub
So
what
you're
in?
gonna do that with it. With your yes, in the flour.
In the flour?
So I was curious,
Bro, why don't you just read a recipe?
why did she get demonetized? What set YouTube over the edge to sentence old Pearly to walk the plank?
My
Remember
wife
the
left.
tweet I
Scared
read
me.
to you in the beginning where she said 16-year-olds are hotter than, once again, hotter. She decided
Yeah.
to not use the word at least prettier, more youthful, because that is true.
But the point was to be like insane. You know, there is a sentiment from more traditionalist men that 16 is acceptable, time for girls to get married to adult men. I guess in their 20s and beyond. Right. Matt Walsh is one of them. And so that was supposed to be a hot take of like, 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds, which is weird. It's a disgusting, weird thing. I mean, yeah, I'm sure 16-year-olds are very attractive to other 16-year-old boys. But if you're not that, maybe you shouldn't be talking about how attractive you find them. It's just fucking weirdo.
15-year-olds are more youthful than a 20-something-year-old. No, she chose to
sure.
use the word hot. And her creepy, basement-dwelling, slimy, nasty.
Yeah, the same audience that told her once she turned 18 and like her coach decided to hit on her, it really gross shit. That was her coach since she was like a kid. I think in her like teens. The same ones when she was like, yeah, that was really creepy and gross and uncomfortable. They were like, yeah, you deserve it. It's your fault or whatever. So
Followers agreed. Yeah, it wasn't because of that tweet, but it was for something about underage girls. So before we get to that though, I want you to keep in
was it a specific tweet that did her in?
your brain that this is a woman that says modern women have no accountability. She's always saying that modern women never take accountability.
Modern women probably definitely have more accountability than. Well, I don't know. It depends on what you think accountability is. I would say that modern women, Western women, have more responsibilities. In other countries they don't have. They're discouraged that they will work. But now in Western women typically have to work and then do the traditional woman's role anyway, work and take care of the house, etc. But maybe she means accountability, whereas like modern women are not allowed to get hit or else they can go to jail. Whereas in other countries that aren't Western, it's okay to beat and even rape your spouse, which is terrible. So
they never hold themselves accountable like men, because Pearl
True.
knows obviously.
True, like men are held accountable in the manosphere when it's like, yeah, it's okay to cheat. In fact, you should put up with it. Women, that's accountability.
Every man ever and every man.
Literally trying to ban accountability for men when it comes to divorce. And I'm not saying that there aren't women who are the cause for divorce. Of course they are. But like when you're saying that you shouldn't be able to get divorced, even if your spouse is hitting you and cheating on you, you're trying to say men shouldn't be held accountable. So
on this planet is a little truthful Boy Scout. But just digesting a little bit of Pearl's content, you will soon find, you will easily find that Pearl is one of the biggest hypocrites that can't take accountability.
Sure.
And can't admit when she's wrong, and thus, in her own words, a modern woman herself. The call's coming within the house, Pearl, and I'm gonna prove it
got
to
him.
ya. A few days ago, Pearl would hit the streets wearing her iconic pearls, ready to interview women to prove how stupid and misinformed they are, and how
Yeah, I on the street content is almost always just so dumb and obnoxious. It's usually meant to spin a particular narrative, and it doesn't matter what it is. You go out for a couple hours, you record people, you ask them a specific question. Most people probably don't give you the answer you want, and then when you get the answer you want, you take that and you make that video out of that. That doesn't always happen, but that is something people will do.
Actually superior she is. Well, she would interview a group of women, and the questions Pearl asked would get sexual. It gets talking about babies. It gets to talking about this word right here.
Abortion.
It's the normal topic that Pearl likes to.
Yeah, you're allowed to use that word more now in videos, and it'd be monetized. YouTube's been rolling out some pretty solid things where you're allowed to talk more about more controversial topics like abortion. And even things within the realm of sexual assault, as long as it's not super graphic, right? So
bring up that in any case on both sides is a very heated topic, and where Pearl stands and her followers stand, so of course it's going to get very heated for the women.
It's your own fault if you get pregnant.
And the only problem is that
sure, it's both parties' fault.
the women that she interviewed were not women. They were 15-year-old girls. Well, she would do what Pearl would do with any content.
Why are you talking to 15-year-old girls for content? It seems a little irresponsible, no?
And she would post it.
Considering it's controversial topics, it's one thing to be like, what's your favorite My Little Pony? I don't know what kids like. I don't like kids. I'll like my own kid, but I don't. They're just annoying. It's yelling all the time at Disney. It's like, dude, you don't even have money. Stop acting like you own the park. Just got in front of me in line. What?
Post all the time. So she would post it to YouTube. So her majority of basement dwelling never touched or spoke or even looked at a woman. They're way too scared to look at a woman in real life. Fan base can tear these women to shreds over the internet, of course, because remember, they can't even talk to women. And it would get pretty bad, as it normally would on the internet. But then the parents got involved and they told Pearl, hey, that's my daughter. I don't want her on the internet. I don't want her on your page. They demanded her to take down the video. And do you know how a lot of YouTubers are? They're like, I filmed this. I want to.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's you shouldn't have been talking to a kid in the first place. What, did she know that the kid was 15? The first question you should be asking is, how old are you? And then just pass on that. Like, yeah, for sure. I think that's totally reasonable to parents. Why the fuck would you even do that in the first place?
I worked on it. I'm keeping it on.
She should have known not to do that.
A lot of us are hard-headed, and I get people.
I understand being hard-headed, but this one's a pretty clear boundary we've drawn as a society. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Telling me you need to take down this video.
Like, even if they were in the wrong, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. 15. Of course, 15-year-olds are dumb. Like, 20-year-olds are dumb. But 15-year-olds are not 18 yet, so,
that you reacted to because it's embarrassing me, and I say absolutely not. And that's what Pearl did. But it's a little different when you are out on the street filming people. You're not just reacting to free content on the internet. And this content was too juicy for Pearl not to post. She laughed and laughed. The more people demanded that she take down the video. Well, she ended up getting the consequences of not taking it off.
Wow. Okay. I mean, if this is why, then I think, yeah, it's a completely justifiable reason. It was dumb in the first place. But for YouTube, that's like, hey, like, first of all, like, this is such a no-brainer. Like, yeah, you're not reacting to something happening on the internet that has a standard of being okay. You're doing on-the-street content, interviewing a 15-year-old without the parental consent. That's what you did. What, you can't do that. That's so stupid. Like, what? So YouTube, it's like, yeah, we have to protect people. I mean, frankly, I think that they should have taken it down and done some kind of like a strike. Like a warning, a copyright strike, or not copyright, but like a hard hit, and said like, this is an endangerment of a minor, which I think is a reasonable. Maybe it wouldn't fall. That would be the category I think it would fall under. I could be wrong with that. That's what they should have done, or I think they should have done. But the fact that they did this is reasonable. Yeah, sure.
I've been suddenly demonetized out of thin air with no warning for hateful content. She had no idea why she got demonetized. It was just out of thin air. Where is this coming from? And like,
well, in her brain, she's probably like, yeah, this is justifiable.
You saw she tagged YouTube in this, and they responded. They decided to look more into it. And after YouTube's automated system, plus multiple human reviewers.
It sucks though, because you have to go to Twitter. Like, because YouTube's given me false strikes multiple times. Twice, actually, last year, I think it was, or maybe in this year. And they reversed them, one after 5 days, which sucked. And then one after the next day was actually great. But like, you'll put it through their system on YouTube, the studio, they'll just instantly reject it. Then you talk to somebody, they don't do anything to help you. You go to Twitter, and then they'll look into it. And that's how I got because I got rejected like when they looked at it again on the studio. But then when I went to Twitter, they're like, oh yeah, this is unjustifiable. One was a video where I was very heavily criticizing like a very anti-Semitic content creator, and they said something very anti-Semitic on a YouTube video. And I was like, why did I get taken down? But that core one's up, so they've reinstated mine. The other one was like some random video that like, it was like one of those predator catching videos, but it was really irresponsible where like the guy ended up getting in a car and almost hitting somebody. And I was like, this is insane. And they pulled mine down. I was like, well, I reacted to a video on YouTube with 3 million views. Right. Then one of them was justifiable. But I always thought it wasn't justifiable. But now they're being very explicit about why they're banning people in the creator studio, and they're giving you a pathway to get content strikes off of your channel, which is actually phenomenal. I know I'm ranting. But like, I did a video criticizing Blair White on one of her takes about trans people. And I was like, oh, why did I get taken down? This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have gone. They're like, no, we were dumbing down on our decision. I was like, that's ridiculous. When they implemented the thing, they put the moment of why. And it was like 52 seconds in. And I made a little bit of an edge joke. I'm not going to be explicit about what it was. It was obviously to me a joke, but I understand why. I was like, okay, I get why you that. If I knew that from the start, I wouldn't have fought for an unban. I would have been like, understand. The joke was a little too edgy. Obviously I didn't mean what I said. It was literally just a funny joke to me. I was like, okay, I wish you told me sooner. I wouldn't have been upset about it for however many months or years. I would have just been like, oh, you're right, YouTube. I shouldn't have said that.
Looked more into her channel. They found Pearl's channel actually does not follow YouTube's channel monetization policies. And
oh, interesting.
Pearl and her weird fan base can say that they hate modern women all they want, but this is where Miss Pearlish shows us she's actually very much a modern woman to her standards. So after Daddy YouTube took away Pearl's ability to—
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's an issue with criticizing modern women. I obviously disagree with you. It's not even just modern women, it's Western women. That's what it comes down to. But that's fine. Disagree. But if it goes to the point of hatefulness, And like, obviously that's a problem.
make money. She goes on a Twitter tirade, which is normal behavior for her. She's always just tweeting all the time. I think Pearl lives in Twitter. So she would constantly tag Team
Yeah, I
YouTube
don't
for
know
a
why.
redo.
I have never had a YouTube strike on my channel. Please tag at Team YouTube. At Team YouTube, I was just demonetized. Sign up for my email list in case YouTube goes away altogether.
Why would anyone want Pearl to email them? What would she say in the email? Hello, I hope this email finds you well. If you're a man, if you're a woman, a modern woman, you are the reason for everything bad that has happened in this world. Why would I want that? Anyway, she posted that email tweet like 2 or 3 times. So what are you guys waiting for?
We'll get on Miss Pearlie's mailing list.
So a lot of her fans and her were saying, you're being censored. They're taking away free speech. No.
Well, no, they're not taking away your freedom of speech, but they are taking away your ability to monetize your channel, which is to an extent like I mean, they do that mostly because they don't want to advertise. They don't want another adpocalypse. That's my opinion. I don't think that YouTube as an entity gives a shit about Pearl. I don't think that they have any. They have, in fact, they have an interest in keeping her monetized because it makes them money. And I don't really think that YouTube as a company. I'm sure there are people in YouTube that care, but I think YouTube as a company wants to make as much money as possible, unless they actually genuinely feel like this person might kind of hurt the process of making money. Now, maybe they specifically hate her. I don't know, but I don't think it's unreasonable to be like, okay. I don't want a burger. You know, Burger King might be really mad at us if there's a Burger King ad on JustPearlyThings video. So.
No, they're not. I don't know why you guys keep saying that. They're not taking away free speech. They're making Pearl's speech free. She's welcome to post her videos still.
That's kinda funny,
she
yeah.
just can't make money. She's not exiled from YouTube. She's not banned from YouTube. They just don't want to fund her content. It's pretty much your job saying.
Again, I think that they do want to fund her content. I just think that it's one of those things where it's not worth funding her content if everybody else loses money. You know, YouTube, again, is doing things to slowly give creators more flexibility in what they say and what they do. I mentioned earlier in this video, when it comes to more controversial topics, as long as it's done respectfully and tastefully. You know, they just did something where you're allowed to twerk on YouTube and get it monetized, as long as it's not like hypersexual and you wear more clothing. They did a thing where when it comes to breastfeeding videos, you can show areola and it can get monetized. Now, I think that's a little bizarre. I don't know why you got to be doing that on YouTube, but hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. Maybe. I mean, listen, I'm not a breastfeeding mom. Maybe breastfeeding moms they could help them to have an educational guide on how to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the struggles of a woman. I know the struggles of my wife. It's being married to me, but that's they allowed me on YouTube already. They made like an educational course basically. If you get a content strike now, you can take a test. And you can get the strike removed after, I think it's 3 months, or 6 months. I think it's 3 months. I think it's 6. It doesn't matter. After a certain period of time, that strike will be removed. And in fact, if it's, and I'm getting on my channel, hopefully my warning gets removed. I think it's in like the end of this year. I think it might be in a month. December 26th. I don't know. But the point is that they're always trying to push the line because they want to make money and they want people to be able to express themselves because it helps them make money. I don't think YouTube wants to stop Pearl from being able to make money because they make money. But if it gets to a point where they feel like they might lose money, they're going to police that extra.
I'm not going to pay you
How do I
anymore,
look?
but you're welcome to work for free. Your choice. Okay, so then the
Ridiculous.
sister of one of the girls that appeared in the video would tweet Pearl. And here's the thing with the sister. She's very much a feminist. Which in many people's heads
Ew,
is
feminism.
the worst thing that you could ever be. But for the sister and everybody who is super left or super feministy, this whole situation was like a hot Cheetos raining down from the heavens, and you can eat as many
Hot Cheetos. I prefer Doritos, sweet spicy chili Doritos. Those are better than hot Cheetos.
as you want with no heartburn. Okay, that's my dream.
I already have heartburn right now because I had sweet spicy Doritos. So.
But pretty much this whole situation was like a really good thing to happen because they would love to get JustPearlyThings off the internet. The sister basically says Pearl stopped her sister and her friends to speak about SEX.
The TikToker YouTuber. Is she a TikToker, I guess? Okay.
And Pearl comes back and says,
I'm just going to say, Just Pearly. Okay, so the TikToker YouTuber JustPearlyThings, or at PearlyThings, whatever, stopped my 15-year-old sister and her school friends on the street to ask them invasive questions about sex on her YouTube channel. She made several cut downs of the video and has subjected them to abuse from the Red Pill community. Okay, fair enough. You know, first of all, why are you talking to 15? Like, if you're a school teacher, it makes sense to talk to 15-year-olds about sex and comprehensive sexual health education. That could be a very positive thing. That can help teach consent. If a kid is being abused by somebody in their family, especially, educating them on what sex is and when it is and is not appropriate to be engaging in that can save a lot of kids from being abused. Pearl doesn't need to be asking those questions. And communities can be toxic. Red pill is very toxic. If it was an 18-year-old plus, whatever. I don't really care as much. But a 15-year-old, come on, insane.
False. Fake news. That never happened. It was about abortio.
Okay.
Back and says, false. Fake news. That never happened. It was about abortio.
It was about abortion. Yeah, I feel like abortion is usually can be a conversation about sex. So, okay.
Tion. But in reality, what I was thinking when I was reading her response, when talking about abortion, you're also talking about sex. And I watched the video.
Sure.
In the video, they talked about sex, pregnancy, and abortion. So then, Pearl, talked
Who's Anna? An abortion.
about, yes, you talked about sex, you got it. So then, therefore,
Take accountability, Pearl.
you can't just
Just like, how are you that stupid in general to even be talking to somebody under the age of 18 on YouTube, especially with a large platform, like in that way? It's just weird. Like, I would say, like, let's say it was a 15-year-old content creator and they jumped in to have a conversation or debate. Maybe you do that. I don't really know if that would be acceptable. But she does it on the street and then asks these kids these questions and then puts that on the YouTube. And then when the parents say, take it down, you don't just take it down. You know, you should just want to be responsible in the first place. Because this is like a natural consequence of something that would happen.
shift around your words and make it
Especially if you could see their faces. I don't know if she said names or anything, but like it's enough to be able to see their faces. In this scenario, I don't know the specifics. I mean, I imagine that you see their face, you know the general town that they live in. I feel like that's enough identifying information to be like, probably shouldn't do that. It's different if like some random 15-year-old comes in to talk on a stream and it's like, hello, I'm gonna say this. It doesn't really matter because you have no identifying information.
fit your narrative to make you look innocent. What are you? A modern woman?
Oh, got him.
God. Why would you want to be that?
You make me sick.
So of course many of her followers were saying that the girls need to take accountability, pretty much regurgitating everything that Pearl says. According to Pearl, the girls walked up to her. We have no idea.
Okay, I want to watch. I'm gonna read what she says.
That Pearl says. According to Pearl, the girls walked up to her.
Here's the full clip she's referring to. I'm just not gonna watch it because I just in case. Does this look like me going out of my way to interview minors about sex? Funny thing is, they came up to me. That does not matter. You're sitting in the street making a spectacle of yourself. The first question you should ask, like, how old are you? 15. They say, okay, well, we can't talk to you. Sorry. I have no proof that they were even related to this chick or what their ages are. You should, like, the fact that you have no proof of that is weird. Like, you should have asked their age and went as far as, like, can I see your ID? If you thought they looked young, at least. Because, I mean, I feel like a 15-year-old looks like a 15. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll go on Twitter right now while I'm talking and ramble until I find it. But and then after you get the criticism, just take it down. You know, I don't understand why you would double down onto this. But I don't even know how old this is. Oh, here's an epic tweet. Cat can't take the opinion of someone with fake hair, fake boobs, and plastic surgery seriously. Oh, okay. Pearl playing piano. This is the cringiest thing in the entire world. I don't know if I'll be able to find this. Anyway, continuing with... Okay, they came up to me. We get hundreds of messages daily on the internet. I have interviewed thousands of people, but to imply that I was going out on my way to interview minors about sex, are you fucking insane? I don't think that that's the implication there. I think that you did talk to one, and you should have been more responsible. What is this? Oh, she's singing. Wow, fantastic. Why do you? This is that. I know this is a little weird. But don't you think it's kind of bizarre that she still thinks that she can sing? You think that you would have given up, and to me that just shows a complete lack of self-awareness. You know, I don't know if I'll be able to find this. She posts so much, I don't think I care. Anyway, had this chick wanted to get my attention, She could have done a public post without flat out lying about the topic. You discussing C word. I'm going to censor that one. Women like to ruin people's lives because they thrive on being a perpetual victim. Based and true. I'm just kidding. Some people do. Not everybody. I mean, there are bad men and women. This chick thought to herself, I did not get a hold of this YouTuber, so let me accuse you of being a pedophile. This is the bottom of the barrel disgusting woman. You can fuck up. Who's she referring to? I guess we have to see the source thing. I don't know if I'd be able to find it.
Her, we have no idea. None of that matters at all. Why? Here, Pearl. I did the work for you.
But I'm going to assume that's not her responding to actual. That's not her responding to YouTube. That's her responding to somebody that might be taking it and like sensationalizing it. I don't know though.
You should always be smart about content you post online and ask for permission before you upload a video featuring someone to YouTube. Anyone posting content with minors do the following. Respect privacy, secure consent from the minor's parent or legal guardian before featuring them. It took me about 2 seconds.
Fair enough. I feel like I didn't need to see that. I felt like I didn't need to know that. Like I just knew it. You know what I mean? Like I intuitively knew get a consent when you make videos, especially of children, you know?
Just to Google is Pearl, and if I was someone who walked the street looking for people to embarrass on my channel, I would have to pull out that piece of paper of consent they can easily find on Google and have them sign it. Pearl, take accountability. Bottom line, no matter where you stand with what the girl...
You don't have to have them make a whole paper. Just have them say, I give consent. So here's the thing. The act of the person being there is enough consent. And especially if you're like, hey, this is going to be filmed and recorded. That's enough consent. You don't need like a whole to-do, in my opinion. I could be wrong legally, whatever. But when you have the parents actively reaching out saying, take this down, there was, and they were not able to give their opinion on the consent in the first place. You go, probably shouldn't have done this.
Girl said in the video, no matter if you are on Pearl's side, no matter if you hate modern women so much. Bottom line, my big mouth Pearly friend, you were wrong. Miss Pearly just proved everybody right who has called her an idiot. She decided not to look up what she needed to do to appropriately do her job, and she got fired. She can grift to her weird, creepy fan base that it's censorship or it's because non-verbal.
It's so funny because when somebody sent me this video, I went and looked at her channel to see if she talked about it, and I couldn't find it. She doesn't stop talking. And I couldn't, but I noticed that her views are up, and she seems to be pumping out more and more content. She's on her grind, and like then she gets fucking hit so hard.
Ruins the world, but it wasn't any other modern woman's fault except for one modern woman, Pearl. You have gotten my channel demonetized.
Okay. This is false. This was a conversation about abortion. There was even okay, we already did that.
Monetized by mass reporting me, which affects 15 people that work for my company who have families and mouths to feed. No.
Well, you know, again, for the mistake that Pearl made, you should have known this. Then you falsely accused me of asking some shit to go, what? For me? What?
That work for my company who have families and mouths to feed. No. What is all of this blaming and pointing fingers and lack of accountability? You, Pearl, this person right here is the one that have affected those 15 families. This one right here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big irresponsibility. What the fuck is this?
Not that, not this, but you.
At.
Now take responsibility so you don't fall into being a modern woman.
Pick it up.
All right, yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, sure. Not much else to say. Pearl should have been able to identify that this was going to happen when she did what she did. So, you know, you reap what you sow. Do I think that she should be able to get it back, a pathway? Yeah, sure, maybe. Why not? You know, I love talking about Pearl. So, you know, if they kick her off the platform, what the hell else am I going to talk about, right? I don't do anything else but talk about Pearl. Just kidding. But yeah, you know, I agree with her dog shit opinions. I know that she's a grifter. I don't think she believes half the shit that she says. But hey, listen, that's the fun of YouTube, isn't it?